Jensen Show on AM 1150 and 101.7 FM WDEL.
Yes, the Rick Jensen Show continues. Randy Dascher filling in today for Rick Jensen. Well, I am very excited to have on the telephone line the man playing the drums in this song and plays the drums in many other bands as well. The very wonderful Mr. Jess Margera. How you doing, man?
What's going on?
How you been?
Pretty good. Been burning the candle at both ends here. Working on no sleep, trying to get ready for this concert.
So you are having a concert online, like I guess you would call it a virtual concert. Is that accurate? Okay.
Yeah, it's all the rage now. These streaming concerts online, since no one can go see a real show.
Yeah, man, I don't understand why I can go to Wawa every day and be in there with 85 people getting coffee, wearing a mask, and that's fine. And but they couldn't have a show with maybe even like a 50% capacity or something. I don't get it. I almost get the restaurants where you have a mask on your face and you need to take the mask off to eat food and drink. But if they had a show and said, look, we're not serving any, you could bring a bottled water and that's it. And we're not serving sodas, beers, food. And, just come here and enjoy the show for an hour and get out, I think it's just that, there's just going to be a group of people that don't, like look at Sturgis. They did Sturgis this year, and it was a train wreck. Did they definitely say that X amount of people caught it because of Sturgis? Yeah, big time. I mean, it's like South Dakota. There's like no one there, and it was like a hot spot, and they basically said, yeah, Sturgis. There's like 20,000 people here. And, they just acted like everything's fine, and now there was a huge outbreak or whatever. Okay. During that, though, it's tough to look at that and then look at and I'm all for protesting, but when you see riots and people are wearing, people are jammed next to each other, but the news never says any of the COVID came from that, that's fine. But Sturgis, it came from a motorcycle rally where there wasn't one piece of litter. But when people smashed every window, none of it.
It is crazy what they pick and choose to cover,
Yeah, I mean, there's a clip that Rick and I play on the air here a lot because it's just, I mean, it's not funny, but it's just ridiculous that there's a guy on MSNBC. There's an inferno behind him, and he goes, well, it's mostly peaceful. It's like, come on. Why are you saying it's mostly peaceful? There's a building with flames 100 feet in the air right behind you, and it's mostly peaceful. But anyway, I mean, I just wish they would be consistent. I would be fine with them saying Sturgis caused the spread as long as they equally said, I saw when Biden won, people went out in the streets and were celebrating, and I see these women out there with bottles of champagne pulling their masks down and then taking a big swig off the mouth of a champagne bottle, then handing it to a stranger, and they're chugging out of the same bottle, but we're all supposed to.
Oh man,
it's
it's any type of public gathering where people like aren't trying to distance. It doesn't matter what it's for. It's like it's all bad.
Yeah,
and like technically, you would think if they tried to do, if it's a 5,000 cap place and you only sell 1,000 tickets, like. That should be okay, but, it's too risky, I guess.
I think they're doing that with football. Now, I don't watch sports at all, but, I have eyes, and the news comes on, and before I can reach and change the channel to Seinfeld, I do see, like, people in the stands at some of these football games, so I guess they're doing it at a greatly reduced capacity. I
saw, I think it was a Broncos game or something, and there was like a whole section of the arena. It was like cardboard cutouts of all the South Park characters.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Now I have to watch it. I would watch it just to see the South Park cutouts. That's really clever and creative.
Man, I've completely rediscovered South Park because my son's all into it now. And,
How old's your son?
Some of the episodes, I'm like, this is too gnarly for you, I think, man.
It's got to be tough because they're little cute cartoon characters, but they're, it's not SpongeBob when you have an 8-year-old character that was based on Archie Bunker screaming about the Jews and using the F word. But I can't believe they get away with half the stuff they get away with, man. It's amazing. They did one where they were goofing on, and this is 100 years ago, but I haven't had cable since 2009. But I mean, you can find the episodes online sometimes too.
Yeah.
But they did one where I guess in reality there was NYPD Blue back I'm going to guess 20 years ago on regular free over-the-air television, decided they were going to use the S word in one of their episodes. And I think the FCC has relaxed guidelines at 10 p.m. till 6 a.m. It's called Safe Harbor. And so they were like, you know what, we're gonna say the S word. And so they got these really high ratings. So South Park instantly made a parody of that, and they're like, so they have all these executives and all these people that make decisions in television. They're like, what can we do to top that? I know. Let's say the S word twice. Why, it's brilliant. And then it went on to 3 and 4, and then became NBC Must S Television and Night of 1,000 S's. And, it was just... I think
there's probably a big boardroom of executives, and it's like somebody's like, "What if we say it twice?" It's like, brilliant! Oh my god!
Yeah,
that's a genius. You're getting a raise.
Yeah, I like the way you think. You're brilliant. So, have you? I know you play in the band CKY. You've put out the most recent thing was a great album called The Phoenix. Then you were in mid-tour in a foreign land. You and I have spoke before, but this is a different time. The last time we spoke, I believe it was the actual Memorial Day. So holidays have different listeners than just regular random Tuesdays at 11. So so you were mid-tour. And I guess this is March. I'm guessing around late March. And what country were you in when this pandemic was first brought into the forefront?
The last time we played was Ireland, and it was like you said, like late February, early March, maybe. And then it's like we flew home, and then it was just like, okay, no more of that.
Oh wow. And you had stuff all scheduled. You guys play a bunch of gigs a year. I mean, you work really hard you're a working musician. It's not like you do one show and you make $10 million and then you live on an island. I mean, I'm sure, I'm not counting your money, but you probably do well, but you don't have the freedom, say, like Pete Townsend does, but you probably probably play a lot of shows. Touring
is a good bulk of your income when you're a musician these days, especially like streaming, Spotify, all that. It doesn't pay hardly anything. So you got to really go out and hit it hard on the road to make a decent income.
That's what I figured. Like, I remember buying CDs. I'm 53. I remember buying CDs when they first came out. I was probably 20, and I think they were $16.99 when I was 20, which is probably 1990-ish. I'm not good at math, but I graduated in 85, so I was 17. So all right, say 88. I was 20 years old or so, and a CD was like $16.99 then. And then I remember probably in 2007 buying a CD, and it was $16.99. So it's not even working with the inflation rate. And then, today I can honestly say, and I don't have anything against buying them, but for me it's easier to go to YouTube and just go, tick, 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 and now I'm watching, whatever the latest band is, or I'm watching CKY, your video out there in the desert where you film the stuff, and I get the extra added bonus of the video. So the music industry has, up until COVID, I guess the smart thing to do, or the only thing to do, would be to put your music out there for free, put it out in the best quality you can, make it a good product, and then go sell tours. And here we are now.
To make the vinyl go the extra mile and make the art really cool, and give people a reason to want to buy the physical product.
Oh, no, I hadn't thought of that. See, that's why you're in the business and I'm not. So you're putting out.
Yeah, I definitely do that too. I'll check out a new band's album that I like on Spotify, and then it's like, if there's 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever, like really killer songs, it's like, oh, okay, because I'm a vinyl guy, so if they win me over on a quick listen that I do, then it's like, okay, that's definitely, I got to get the real deal.
Oh, nice. And I'm noticing that they're making the vinyl different colors and stuff. And you see like a red record and then on the actual vinyl, which is unusual. Typically they were just a big black circle. I think Pearl Jam had a song like "Spin the Black Circle" or whatever. So, okay, so you were out there touring and coming up with creative ways to sell actual audio on different formats, for lack of a better word. And then COVID comes, so now I guess you're approaching it another way. I guess in the same sense where successful restaurants are trying to knock it out of the park with great takeout, you're now going to try and knock it out of the park with a great streaming concert.
It's pretty cool because it's not like you're in Chicago or something. It's like you could sell tickets to the whole planet.
Oh yeah,
people in countries that we never got to play can actually, it's not the real thing, but it's the next best thing.
No, that's very cool. I really hadn't even factored that into it. So yeah, you can sell. Depending on what, I guess you're using a streaming service that there's not going to be if more people connect, it's not going to slow down anyone else's connection. That's up to individuals' own internet providers, I guess, right?
Yeah, we're going through a company called Live From Events, and they do a ton of concerts and stuff. That's their whole deal, and so they kind of take care of all the tech stuff for us.
Okay, so it's not like somebody in their house streaming it, uploading it from their Fios connection, and if it
was up to me, using my Wi-Fi trying to stream it to thousands of people, I think it would probably go pretty bad.
Yeah, the first 6 people get on, and the 7th guy can't.
Yeah, my router craps out.
Yeah,
tons of people are mad.
Yeah. So, okay, so you're doing it through there. Now, how can someone, if they want to see the show, well, first off, what is the date of the show? I know the date, but this is where we act like I don't know. When is this concert?
December 29th.
Okay.
At 7 p.m. It's pretty cool how they do it. They air it for each time zone at 7,
Oh, okay, so somebody's not out in L.A. watching at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
Yeah, okay, that's brilliant. So they're seeing it on a 3-hour delay, but it's still essentially live. There's really, nothing's going to change. It's not like watching a Saturday Night Live when it's live and then someone says something, that the network deletes for the West Coast because it was too naughty, and like Andrew Dice Clay when he was on Saturday Night Live, and he just started cursing like a sailor. So when they aired it on the West Coast, they went back and they edited all those parts out. So you're getting the exact same awesome concert because it's on the internet and you have 0 restrictions. And oh, that's awesome.
And I was confused about that at first. I'm like, okay, so what? Like, are Australian fans have to set their alarms at 2 a.m. or I was just gonna, what I mean?
Yeah. That's good that you're going through a streaming service that has done this, has plenty of experience in making this work. That's very good. That's really cool.
Yeah, and then even after, we actually do it live, then it's available on demand for a few days after. So.
Oh, excellent. All right, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Mm-hmm. What is the cost for this concert, as if I didn't already look it up?
Yeah, $13.
Oh man, I
Can't
went.
beat it.
Yeah, that's super cheap. I went to see the Pixies, and I paid for 2 tickets because anytime I go to a concert, I don't like to drive to Philly, so I'll always buy 2 tickets, and then I ask a friend, hey, I'll give you the free ticket if you drive your car. And it's a good way to not have to worry about your car.
You don't have to drive into the city and park, and you can. It's on your TV. You can be in your pajamas. Drinking normal price beers instead of like $14 Yinglings or whatever they try to charge at these things.
yeah, and $13 is a bargain. I think I paid $80 a ticket for the Pixies, something like that. So that's $13 is amazing.
And there's always a tall guy in front of you, or a medium height guy with a hat.
Stupid top hat.
You don't have to deal with any of that on this concert.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now on this show, I think I have an idea where the secret location is. Well, no one can come to it anyway, but I saw that video shot with the drone, so I will keep it a secret. But I've seen that place before.
Yep.
All right, that's awesome.
And it's many records and have been done there.
Oh, cool.
And, it's fun.
That's awesome. Are you doing this just you and Chad I. Ginsberg, or is there a third player on this?
Yeah, we got a new guy on bass. We grabbed him from a pretty popular metal band.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'll let it be a surprise.
Okay.
It'll be a cool little thing when people tune in and they get to see who our new dude is.
Oh, that's excellent. I can't wait to see that. Yeah, as we spoke before, how you kind of got left high and dry on your tour. You had a bass player. It was a great bass player and been doing backup vocals. And for whatever reason, and you explained it to me, and it was a perfect explanation, people leave bands. I mean, and
sure.
I know that just, and I've never played in like a huge band, but I've played in cover bands, and people leave bands. That's the way it is. People have lives, and, it's not for everybody. So you guys had to complete a tour.
Being away from home all the time, going out for like a month at a time. Some people can do it, and some gets to be too much.
Sure. I can only imagine being on the road. I mean, I played in cover bands where people would quit just playing, Westchester and Philly and Delaware gigs and stuff. So, being in Iceland or wherever you're playing, Australia and, stuff like that, it would probably get rather hectic. So at one point you guys were finishing the tour that you already had scheduled. See, I pronounce it like a British guy. That you already had scheduled. You had to finish that tour with you and Chad, and then you were playing to a track, which we discussed that's got to be more difficult. There was just not enough time to teach a new guy 90 minutes of music or whatever we had to do. Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. The greatest bass player on the planet it would take time. That's just the way it is. So
and people dug it. They were like, they could have canceled, but here they are. It's only two of them now, but. Still sounds great, and they showed up. So
that's awesome. I read the comments, nothing but positive comments. I watch a lot of your stuff on YouTube, and I've watched stuff where it's just you and Chad I. Ginsberg, and people loved it. People, the comments are like, "I had a blast, loved it. Be out to see you next time."
Yeah.
I was watching last night. I fell down the rabbit hole of watching some CKY, and I even saw one show where it was Chad I. Ginsberg on bass.
Yep.
Back from way back, and that was definitely the first time I'd seen him actually holding a bass and playing a bass. And Chad's a phenomenal guitar player. For anybody who's not familiar with the band CKY, Jess is the drummer who we're speaking with now, and Chad I. Ginsberg does this thing where he takes his guitar and he flips it around his back and back into his hands, and I saw him do it live at the Note in Westchester, and it's the coolest thing in the world. And we were all screaming it, "Do it again! Do it again!"
Yeah. And yeah, we definitely have a Spinal Tap kind of situation with the bass players.
That's true. That's what I was thinking.
Some spontaneously combust.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, I was reading about you on Wikipedia where they do that thing. They list the members, and then they have the years, and they use different colors and charts. And the bass players are like, there's a list of 4 or 5 different people. But yeah,
he died from a bizarre gardening accident.
Yes, life imitates art. Hey, do you mind holding on? I have to go to a commercial break. May I put you on hold?
Yeah, sure.
All right, great.
Yeah.
And we'll do that. And we'll be back with more with Jess Margera right after these words.
Spin Magazine called our next guest Nu Metal Skate Rats, whose music will break your parents' fine china. They're here tonight playing Escape from Hellview from their new DVD, Infiltrate, Destroy, Rebuild. Here they are, CKY.
Thank you very much. This is for the Alliance.
You remember that night? I don't know if you were.
What night was it?
Oh, you know what? I didn't have a button down where you were hearing it. Sorry. I just pulled your fader down. Typically, I should have put you on hold. You would have heard it. I played, you were on Craig Kilborn.
Oh, yeah.
That was like 1,000 years ago, but you were on, what was that? He replaced, I think, David Letterman, right?
Yeah, it's all a blur. I can't remember, but I just remember, the Bob Barker. I ran into him.
Oh, really? From The Price is Right?
Yeah, because like his studio is right next to it, and I saw the Price is Right wheel out in the hallway. I was like getting pictures, like yeah, and then out comes Bob Barker. I was like, dude.
Oh, how cool is that? Oh, okay, yeah, because I'm delusional too. I'm forgetting that all those shows that are on at 12:30 at night are filmed probably at 2:00 in the afternoon. So
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And it's so funny, like when you're watching it on TV, and it looks like a pretty big studio.
Yeah.
And when you get there, the reality is hilarious. Like my symbol was like right next to his desk, basically.
No way! Wow, that's an insight that I would have never picked up on because they make it look larger than life for some reason on the show somehow with the magic
like,
of Hollywood.
When you go on the real estate websites and you're checking out a house and the room looks huge and you get there and you're like, dude, this is a closet.
Exactly. Hey, I have to take another break. I apologize, and I can't be late for news. Let me just pan you down. Can you hold on?
Yeah, sure.
All right, awesome. All right. Hey, we'll be back with more right after these words. Stay tuned for the news.
The Rick Jensen Show on AM 1150 and 101.7 FM WDEL.
All right, yes, the Rick Jensen Show continues. Randy Dascher filling in today for Rick. On the phone, we have Jess Margera from the wonderful band CKY, which I love. Press that button. Hey, there you go. How's it going, man? Yeah, I put you on hold that time so maybe you would hear the commercials.
Okay.
I forgot to the last time. That's why I was like, hey, did you hear the Craig Kilborn? And you're like, no. It's all different. There's 1,000 buttons on this thing. And usually I'm running the board while Rick does the show. But Rick's has a vacation day, and this week he has 3 vacation days. So I'm filling in and doing the board at the same time. So that being said, Jess Margera and his wonderful band CKY are playing on the December 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and a bunch of other time zones as well. It'll start at 7 p.m. Australian time. I see the United Kingdom time and on the West Coast as well. Pacific time, not to be confused with specific time. That's exactly when it's on, and then the other things are the ocean that it's near. So this is going to be awesome. You're going to be doing a live show, absolutely live, streaming on the internet so no one catches the COVID. And you can enjoy it from the comfort of your own home. You'll be introducing your new touring bass player. And this should be very exciting. And I also see special guests, and one can only imagine who the special guest might be.
Yeah, it's our usual cast of maniacs.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it very much so. I will be definitely checking this out. I will be cracking open a beer and enjoying this show from the comfort of my kitchen. So it's going to be awesome. How would someone go to find this particular show? Is there what is the website where someone can look for this event?
So it's livefrom.events/CKY. But it's probably easier to just go to, our Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and there's links all over the place.
Okay. And on Facebook, you just kind of search CKY, or is there something specific about your Facebook page? CKY Music, I think it's called.
Yeah. The Instagram, too, is CKY Music, and the Twitter also.
Okay. All right, cool. Fantastic. You remember we were private messaging, and last time you were on, we talked about drums. You're signed with Ludwig. Are you still with them?
Yep.
So you get
going on 20-something years with them.
Wow. So you get you were. I'm not speaking out of school here. It's not like we said this off the air. You said on the air. You get new drum sets from them. Every 3 years or something?
Every 5 years they hook me up, man.
Man, that's the coolest thing on the planet. And the one set I remember you saying you wouldn't part with were the John Bonham orange, the clear ones you can see through, the Vista lights. Which you play in the Familiar Realm video, which is an amazing song and a great video. So, I saw them there in the Familiar Realm video that I've watched 1,000 times on YouTube. And so you inspired me, and also another drummer inspired me to perhaps get Vista Lights. That was a guy named John Bonham. Ever hear of him? And so this is a drum set that is, it's a replica of what John Bonham played in the rock and roll movie, The Song Remains the Same. And so I went on Facebook Marketplace, and I just happened to be looking around, and I see this guy has a sign on there that says emergency sale, and he has the John Bonham Vista Light set and a brandy new pack of the giant beat pasty cymbals, the huge ones, and all these stands and all this stuff. So I'm looking at it, I go, I don't need another drum set, but it is a pretty good deal because this is like the what do they call it? The holy grail of drum sets for drummers. So I'm looking at it.
And you lucked out. That guy needs some quick cash, I think.
Yes, this was during COVID. So So I was like, no, I don't need it. And then it just, how you click on something once and it never stops coming back. So recommended for you. So I keep saying it. So to make a short story long, I contact the guy finally. My one friend's like, dude, just get him. So I contact the guy. I make arrangements. They won't even fit in my Honda. The guy lives in New Jersey. So, I take the money out of the bank, I'm all set, and I'm about to go on the air here and get Rick on the air to do his show, and we're talking back and forth through Facebook Messenger. So, I get one more message this show starts at 10. I get a message at 9:59. Oh, so and so sent you a message. Oh, let's see what this is, because I plan on leaving here at 2 and at 2:01 driving, to get my buddy's van, and we're going to pick up this drum set. So I get the message, and it says, "Never mind, I'm not selling the drums to you, you Trump supporter scumbag." Now, I didn't vote for Trump. I actually, I supported Tulsi Gabbard, who was running as a Democrat in the Democratic primary. I sent her actually money, which is the first time, other than Ron Paul, that I sent a political candidate money. And I only did this because I liked her anti-war stance, and I liked her that she's against the war on drugs, and. She doesn't want the war on drugs. She doesn't want to pay for it. She doesn't want to lock people up for getting high. And so, she had me at that. So I didn't even bother reading the rest of her issues. So I was a big supporter of hers. And I just happened
she was great.
Yeah, she's awesome. So I just happened to post on my Facebook page. There was a funny Biden animated bit where it was him talking about, I used to have hair on my legs, and the kids would reach in the pool, and they rub the hair on. I like roaches. I like kids on my lap, and it was him just Biden. Just anything he says is hilarious. So somebody animated it, and it was 100 times funnier. So I had that posted, not as a pro-Trump thing. I had it posted as a humorous thing on Facebook. Well, the guy just instantly prejudged me, and thought that I was immediately a Trump supporter. So when I tried to write back to him, he blocked me. So I'm like totally bummed out, and I was horrible on the show that day. And finally, Rick's like, "What's wrong with you today?" Because I'm hitting the wrong buttons and stuff. So I explained the story to him, and we got a good hour of radio talking about it. He's trying to cheer me up, going, "You don't need him anyway. Screw that guy." So then my other friend Jimmy goes, "Dude, I'll go buy him." I'm like, "Well, I kind of want to be there to look at him." And he goes, "Well, there is COVID, and you have to wear a mask," because he could see my pictures on Facebook. So we went there, and I'm wearing like the biggest mask on the planet. I got big glasses, a stupid hat on, and we go there, and I give him the cash, and we walk in. We buy the drum set. So it was basically like a straw purchase to buy the Bonham set, but I got the Bonham set. So that was a really long story. I'm interviewing you, and I'm telling you a long story. That's the kind of show I do.
Vista Lights. That's the story I want to hear.
That's awesome. Have you guys been writing new material, being as you're stuck at home not touring, or?
Yeah, we've been kicking around a ton of songs, and and then this concert kind of came up, and now we've just been focused on that.
So you're rehearsing with your. We have to teach our new guy all the tunes, and it's not easy. So sure,
took a little while.
It's funny. Last time I had you on, I asked, "Do you play bass?" And you said not well or something. You screwed around on. Yeah, I was hinting around that maybe you could be the new CKY bass player, and I'll play drums in my fantasy world. So and before that, I hadn't ever seen. There's a video of you playing the Clutch Big News song, you playing bass, and another guy, I think Matty, playing drums, and I think he's a bass player. So you guys like swapped instruments and it was just a fun thing, And it's Bam singing.
Bam's punk band, and it was a lot of fun. And in that band, I could kind of bounce around and play other stuff because we did a lot of like kind of easy like hardcore punk songs and stuff.
Yeah, no,
I can get away with that.
It's not. Yeah, punk rock is not as involved and intricate as the CKY riffs and all that.
Right.
So So I'm watching that video. I go, oh my God, he does play bass, and you did very well on it. And it's funny, you see the thumbs up and the thumbs down. There's like a zillion thumbs up, and there's like 30 thumbs down. And I'm looking at like, do you not realize they're just having fun?
The drums, dude.
People can't realize that sometimes it's not about It's just about having fun, and you guys were clearly having fun. So, Now, you and I follow each other on Twitter, and thank you, by the way, for being a celebrity following me on Twitter. I really appreciate it. Somebody posted a picture of. I thought it was a poster, and I'm like, where do I get this? I need this. And meanwhile, So I write to the guy who posted it. I'm like, where did you get this? And he's like, well, it's from their tour. And I go, well, in the photo, it's a CKY logo, and then the company band logo. And I'm like, oh, my God, just put something together where it's both the bands he's been in, two of many bands that you've been in. And then the guy had to explain it to me. He's like, no, that's me. I took that photo. It's a T-shirt with a CD sitting on it. And it's a great image if you've seen it on Twitter. It would make a great poster for the Jess Margera fans out there.
That came up a couple times. Maybe do a company band CKY thing, but I'm getting old, man. Playing for like two hours or whatever might kill me.
Yeah, you'd have to play the whole night. You'd have to play, whoever opened to you flip a coin who's going to open, and then you have to play the closing band set. That would get old. Yeah,
definitely.
I was looking through your acting credits. You were in a film called Return to Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah.
And I watched the trailer. It looked like a real movie. The dude from The Sopranos is in it, and a couple other like big name actors were in it. Is it a decent movie? Well, just blink once if it's good. I'm sure you don't want to say.
I mean, there's a bunch of them. It's like a definitely a cult following thing, but they probably made like 5 movies or something. The first one came out, 83, I want to say.
Oh, wow. And you play a camp counselor. Do you have a speaking role in the film?
Yeah, I just kind of school some kids. It was a pretty quick part, but it was fun to be in it because, we're fans of a lot of those old school horror movies.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And in the interview I was reading from, it was a guy named Kenny Ramos from Gen Chem Mag. Very good interview. I was hesitant, like, do I read it before I interview you? And I'm like, oh, why not? So he described
that was like the 20-year anniversary, I think, right?
Yeah.
Jenkinson. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great. It's like a skate magazine, but they cover like bands and stuff, and I'm a big fan of those guys.
Now, I read a story that I hadn't heard before. I mean, I know you guys opened for Guns N' Roses, but he got out of you a great story, and maybe you could share with the audience. You being in an elevator with Axl Rose.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we're in Toronto, and before we signed on to do the tour, it was like a giant stack of papers that we had to sign, all this stuff. You can't shake his hand unless he extends his hand first. His hands are insured for $1 gazillion because he plays piano and all that.
Yeah.
Like, don't make eye contact with him if he's on his way to the stage, all this stuff. So I'm like, I'm staying away from this guy, man. This just seems like a nightmare. And then here we are, Toronto, the Air Canada Center, and you have to literally take an elevator up to the stage from where all the dressing rooms are and stuff.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you know it, it's like just me and Axl. It's like,
oh man.
I'm like, oh man, this is uncomfortable. And I was just like, oh, thanks for having us out on the tour. It's been a blast, all that. And he's like, do you want to go to the strip club later? I was like, yeah, absolutely.
That's an exciting story if you're a regular guy and your mailman asked you to go to the strip club, but you are in an elevator and Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses, and he also sings with AC/DC now, I think, invites you to a strip club.
He filled in for Brian Johnson on that last tour, I think it was.
Man, you have lived the life, man. That is awesome that you got to hang out with Axl Rose. I mean, he's probably
an experience, like, hopping around the strip clubs with Axl. Like, you have to go through the kitchen, and it's like all this whole thing. It's pretty fun.
That is incredible. That's one of the coolest stories I've ever read. That you actually hung out with Axl Rose at a strip club. So
yeah,
hey, kids.
And I mean, it was like so cool that he actually handpicked. Like, he had a stack of CDs to pick from, and I'm sure all these bands were offering tons of money to buy onto the tour.
Yeah.
And he just listened to our, at the time, I think it was Infiltrate, Destroy, Rebuild. And he was like, yeah, I need these guys, like, he turned down all these bands offering like tons of money to get on it, and picked us because he just liked it.
Wow. That is a feather in your cap. I mean, seriously, like, here's a guy who's probably in the top 5, at least the top 10 of the single most famous people on the planet in rock and roll. I mean, he's up there with, guys from The Who, Zeppelin, Guns N' Roses is in that same category. I mean, and he listened to your CD.
He had, last year, like, the 2 top grossing tours, the GNR reunion and AC/DC, and he's like the singer in both.
Wow. That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I'm blown away.
When they announced that Axl was going to fill in, I'm like, I don't know if that's going to work out. And then I saw some YouTube stuff, and I was like, oh, dude, he's nailing it.
I thought the exact same thing, and I was like, oh boy, this is going to be a train wreck. And man, he's fantastic. He's fantastic in AC/DC. Yeah, it's always hard to imagine anyone else but the original guy singing. And 9 times out of 10, you end up being Joe Besser taking over for Curly, or Shemp taking over for Curly. But he knocked it out of the park, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow, I don't want to hold you up all your entire day. You've been extremely generous with your time. Why don't you promote the who, what, where, when? Well, the where is at your own home, but how can someone order this? You probably want to get it in advance, or at least, I guess you can get it the day of the show, but how does one see CKY on December 29th at 7 p.m.?
Yeah, and we are doing like a bunch of like bundles too. Like you can get just the ticket for $13, and then I want to say like 25, 30 or something. You get like a signed ticket with a T-shirt.
Oh, I'm looking at that. Yeah. Beautiful T-shirt. It's
double vinyl.
Is that image a COVID thing?
Yeah.
It's like Earth with COVID coming out. That's excellent, man. Oh, so yeah. So if you click on that to order the live stream, there's the live stream ticket for $13. There's a live stream with a signed ticket. So I guess you mail them a physical ticket with a signature. You guys sign it, and then a T-shirt for $30.
Long sleeve, a tee. There's a ton of options. Poster, and then the double vinyl, which obviously won't ship till probably March because it's the actual live recording, and then it takes about 3 months to get it pressed to vinyl. So.
Okay. Yeah. I wasn't even putting two and two together. I'm thinking it's just 2 random albums, studio albums. So it's going to be vinyl of that show.
Oh, yeah. It's
wow.
Going right off to the vinyl playing as soon as we get done playing.
That's amazing. All right, so everyone go out and if you're a CKY fan, if you don't know CKY, where have you been? But go out and look them up on YouTube. You're going to fall in love with them. They're amazing. And if you're a CKY fan, get out there, go on social media, find this, and go see this show, December 29th, 7 p.m. Jess Margera, I really, really appreciate you've been exceptionally generous with your time. Any final words?
Oh, man, always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Jess. Have a great day.
Yeah.
I got to go to commercial.
You too.
All right, take care, brother.
Okay,
all right.
see ya.
See you.